Located near the intersection of 12th Avenue and West 13th Street lies the remnants of Pier 54, which was the port destination for many of the Cunard Line's ships. This is the last vestige of a string of much larger terminals that have long since been demolished, but this steel structure remains as a reminder of one of the most devastating events in maritime history. Just after 8:30 on the rainy night of April 18, 1912, the over 700 survivors of the RMS Titanic arrived in New York aboard the RMS Carpathia. It is said that over 10,000 people gathered in Battery Park and watched in silence as the Carpathia sailed up the Hudson River. After making a short stop at the White Star Line's Pier 59 to drop off Titanic's lifeboats, the Carpathia doubled back and finally docked at Pier 54, where the first survivors began disembarking just after 9:30. Honestly, I'm just struck by this image from Pier 59. This is where Titanic should have made her grand first arrival in America, but instead in her place it's just this tiny cluster of little boats. Once on shore, the surviving passengers were met by an enormous crowd of families or their representatives, the public, and reporters, all desperately waiting to find out once and for all who had been saved and who had been lost. This was also when U.S. Senator William Alden Smith of Michigan formally issued subpoenas to Titanic's 4 surviving officers and other members of her crew, as well as J. Bruce Ismay and Captain Arthur Rostron of the Carpathia. The hearings into the disaster would begin the next day on April 19th at the Waldorf Astoria, before moving to what is now known as the Russell Senate Office Building in Washington, D.C., becoming one of the first ever hearings to be held there. Pier 54 is also the dock from which, just 3 years later, the RMS Lusitania began her voyage that ultimately ended with her sinking off the coast of Ireland, just 18 minutes after being torpedoed by the German U-boat U-20 on May 7, 1915, taking the lives of 1,199 people with her. The sinking of the Lusitania would be a major factor in garnering the public's support for America's entrance into the First World War, but it would take 2 more years and the loss of many more ships before the American government decided enough was enough, and war was finally declared with Germany in 1917. Today, you can still see the faded paintwork of Cunard Line and Cunard White Star emblazoned on the rusted steel, the former entrance of Pier 54, and this archway is now the front gate to this garden amphitheater thing. Not exactly sure what to make of this monstrosity, but yeah. New York, am I right? How did you like this video? If you enjoyed it, please consider giving me a like and subscribing to my channel. It would mean a lot to me to have your support. And if you have an idea for a Titanic-related topic you'd like me to cover, let me know down in the comments and I'll see what I can do. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Thanks so much for watching.